Hello. Hey, what's up? Wowzers. Let me try to adjust my stuff here. All right. I think things are working. Hey, what's up, Andrew Meep, John Kennedy, Mr. President. Whoops is here, thank goodness. This is an underrated bracket. I think it's appropriately rated. What about that? Hey, K9, it's your old pal, Van Dweller. How's it going, my pal? All right, I got a kind of in a little. All right, let's figure this out. All right, we got that. Okay, get rid of this, get rid of that. Dashboard, don't need you. Twitch, hello. Skip Logic with the Prime sub, 29 months. Thank you so much, Skip Logic. All right, what do I need? I need this. I need the Go site. There's the Go site. Oh, I already had it up, I guess. Oh, I need Liquipedia so I can look up facts and pretend that I know them. No, right third. There it is, right third. Yeah, y'all, if you're on a Mac and you're not using the Magnet app, like, oh my God. Y'all need to use that. All right, the VPN is off. Oh my word. Yeah, Magnet is a desktop Windows management app, so you have very quick little shortcuts for managing the location of windows on your screen. And I don't know, there might be other apps out there, but this works for me. All right, let's see if we can get these players streaming. It's always good if you can start streaming early, because then I can set up your cams and stuff in advance. So that is always appreciated by your old pal. Okay. You are live. I see that you are live. And you always have a good cam. You know, you're very good at following directions and just being, you know, other regarding. The only thing I would say is if it's possible to just get a little more over your right shoulder, right? Because you're a little off to the side. That would be perfect. But, I mean, this is a camera placement, you know? How do you join CTM? Just wondering. Well, the place to start is at the Discord server, ctm.gg/discord. That is the place to start, or discord.gg/CTM. Both of those work. Sorry about that. OBS crashed again. I don't know why. I updated it, and I don't know why. So I'm having all kinds of weird crashes. I think I have to rebuild my scenes from scratch. Maybe there's something that I'm doing that it's not liking, but that is super annoying. Hopefully this doesn't happen in the middle of a match, so I'm just going to have to be careful not to really... Okay. I'm going to have to restart because I can't even right-click on anything. I'm going to restart my computer. I will be right back. I'm so sorry, guys. Hopefully this connects up to... Wow, this is frustrating. I don't know, man. All right, I gotta restart my computer. I'll be right back. Oh, wait. Stuff came back all of a sudden. Well, maybe I don't have to restart. Maybe I won't restart. But just give me a moment while I mess with this. Oh, it's not. Why isn't it letting me do that? There's properties. Okay. Yeah, no, I do have to restart actually. All right. We're getting this settled. I'm not. Okay, there we go. Not exactly sure what was going on there. Just give me a moment to get all this reset up again. I mean, I'm having some problems, you know. All right. Left 2/3. Maybe don't take app advice from me, I guess. Okay. All right. I think we are just about ready to go. Hopefully this all works. I got to adjust cameras now on the fly, but we'll just figure it out and get it done. And thanks everybody for your patience. Lashal, thanks for the Prime sub. Skip Logic Prime sub. Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever in the world you are tuned in to another edition of Classic Tetris Monthly. And this time it is the Masters event for August 2024. And we're in the orange bracket. You know, it's a top, what is it, 16-player tournament divided into 4 differently colored brackets. And this one, the orange bracket, maybe the quintessential bracket because it contains the number 1 seed and a very close matchup right in the middle of the bracket. So I don't know. I always think of the orange bracket as like the bracket. It's the first one on the list that we, I don't know. But yes, the number 1 seed this month is the Dangler. Now, close your ears if you don't want to hear any spoilers. Okay, ready? But the Dangler is fresh off of a win in the Hartford Regional So yeah, the Dangler, looking to win some more. So winning a regional just yesterday, coming back, trying to win a bracket here in Classic Tetris Monthly. And we'll have to do so against Laser Monkey. And if I'm not mistaken, Laser was the Challengers winner last month, so earning a spot in the Masters event. And then our second matchup, a close matchup here, or at least seed-wise, Rations and Tommy NTG. Rations, a regular here in Classic Tetris Monthly, has yet to win a tournament here in CTM, but is looking to make a run, and will have to do so against the only former CTM Masters event winner in our orange bracket, and that is Tommy NTG. And in fact, this month is a bit more wide open than usual. I don't know, it's pretty unusual. I think we've only got one former winner in each of our brackets. So 4 former winners overall. Am I right? So Dangler, Tommy I just leaked the script there. Tommy NTG in the orange bracket, Dog in the blue bracket, Alex T in the green bracket, and Blue Scooty in the red bracket. So just 4 of our 16 players are former winners. So we are wide open for a brand new CTM champion. So very interested to see if that's something that will happen or not or whatever, but we've got a lot of talent here and I'm looking forward to this one. So Dangler and Laser, Rations and Tommy NTG to get us started, and I will try to be a little quicker here because of the early delays. Of course, as you know, this is a 16-player single elimination tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, stats, and appearance are unmodified, except in the way in which we want you to modify them. Players can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons and no turbo functions used. Whether mechanical or electronical, biological turbo only here in the Masters event. Players should not receive any real-time advice and do not pause unless the commentator tells you level 18 starts all the way through. Implement your level 39 super kill screen, and we will be using same piece sets re-rolled in between each game of the match, which are best of 5, which is right there, which I'd set out of order. So now I'm totally thrown off, and then of course points are over the traditional max out do count. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool, which currently stands at $1,346.71. And whoops, that shouldn't be showing. This should be showing because we have not yet reached our $2,000 incentive. Every single month, we guarantee that we'll pay the top 4 no matter what the prize pool is. But if we do get to $2,000, it does mean we can pay our top 8 players, which is pretty darn motivating to them because it means if they win a match, it means they get a prize. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Win one match, get a prize. You feel bad you didn't move on to the semis, but at least you got a little prize. So if you want to contribute to the prize pool, you can do so using the Matcherino command here in chat. Use that command, ! MATCHERINO. There are both paid and free ways to contribute to the prize pool. And the free ways are called sponsor quests. There are a few of them this month. It's just a small little task you can do to help out a sponsor, and in return, they will add a bit to our prize pool. And the paid ways is just what it sounds like, straight cash, homie. If you want to help the players, 100% of the funds that are earmarked to the players go to the players. So that's pretty good. I don't take anything. But if you do want me to take something, then, whoops, you go to Matcherino. Go to Patreon is what I meant. Whoops, oh my God, Freudian slip. I've let it out, guys. Vandy's been dipping into the prize pool for years. No, not at all. Go to patreon.com/monthlytetris to support the channel directly. Patreon.com/monthlytetris. Thanks to our Mega Masters level contributors Scott Gray 76, K9 watching Tetris, Masters level Corporal 381, and shall be satisfied. And bracket sponsor level CatKit 91J in the window and Tacnerus. Also want to thank our Sticker Club and Double Sticker Club level members and our community level members. And of course, go to patreon.com/monthly Tetris to provide regular, ongoing monthly support that signals to us that yes, you value what we are doing. You don't want it to go away. You want it to keep happening. And as long as this thing keeps growing, we can keep going. So patreon.com/monthly Tetris. I'm going to click over to our Masters bracket scene, but I do have to do a couple things here just because of the restart. So just bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and give our players their pieces, and they can get started doing that. And I'll just make a few last second adjustments here just to get this going. And yeah, let me fix this and that. And I don't know what a pleon is, but we're enjoying it. Pleon. Do I want to know what a pleon is? Oh my god. What is a pleon? Is that like a Klingon? Sounds like a Klingon. All right, we'll fix laser up here a little bit. And thanks, players, for hanging through my technical difficulties. I appreciate that. And we will get started presently. Or soon. You know, presently sounds like it should be like right now, but it means soon. Okay. Let's go ahead and get ready. I'm ready. Everybody's ready. The players are ready. It is a Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event for August 2024. Round 1 matchup between Dangler and Laser Monkey. Let's get them started. They're ready. I'm ready. Doodly-doo. And I didn't do the seed check, but I should do the seed check just to be sure. B2550E. Okay, we are good. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Dangler, fresh off his victory. Oh, whoops! Don't. If you don't want any, spoilers, close your ears right now. But Dangler, fresh off his victory at the CTWC Hartford Regional. I think it's called, or Northeast. Is it Northeast or Hartford? Whatever. It's in Hartford. So Dangler representing the New Englanders, having chowder and stacking blocks. Winning Tetris. And Laser, I believe, the winner of the Challenger circuit for July, earning his way back into the Masters event. Is that right? Did I get that wrong? Oh my god, I don't know. I'm unprepared. Problems are happening right now as we speak. I'm gonna have to go look and make sure and confirm what I'm saying. Yeah, what Laser was the Challenger's winner, so earned his way back into the Masters event. And as we get underway, Dangler 94,000, Laser 114 through 20. And it's always a, I don't know, it's kind of a dilemma with me because I'm not a superstitious person. So I don't think I can really jinx anything. But, you know, when players start the games off with, and of course now it doesn't matter, but they start the games off with the perfect game. Can I jinx the perfect game? I don't know. Now, I think it's different here because the players can hear me, and that maybe affects their mental, as the kids say. But in like baseball, players don't really hear the broadcasters, so that is a truly jinx situation. But I don't think the players are listening to me that much. And nor should they. 209 for Laser, 195 for Dangler. Neither player has won a CTM Masters event. And in fact, we have 3 players in our orange bracket who have not won, Tommy being the only one, who you'll see in the next matchup. Dangler has won a couple of challenge Challenger Circuit events, one this year, one last year. Also a winner of a Futures Circuit back in 2022. So you can see the rise now, and Dangler really one of the best players in the world and kind of paying his dues, winning the lower tier kind of tournaments, getting experience at those levels, and now winning a major CTWC regional. 311 for Dangler, 370 for LAZER. And as far as I can tell, these players have never faced off before, at least in, you know, CTWC or CTM cinematic universes, maybe in some other events, but not in those ones, certainly not in Liquipedia. And I think both players kind of on the rise here. You know, LAZER, for the longest time, didn't play CTM consistently. You know, would kind of pop in for a month or two, duck out. I get the sense that LAZER got a lot of stuff going on, but has been playing a little more consistently in these events of late and has had, you know, results. You know, getting into the Masters event multiple times now. Was a top 32 finisher in the CTWC 2024. You know, won a match in May 2024, winning Challenger Circuit last month to get into this one. So, you know, LAZER's always one of those players you think has a lot of potential just because his experience as a competitive cuber really at the highest levels, you know, puzzle cubing, Rubik's Cube, whatever you want to call it, would seem to be a skill set that is sort of adjacent to Tetris, pattern recognition and such. So you always think LAZER has a lot of potential, and, you know, maybe that's starting to come out now. 581 for LAZER. There's a Tetris 604, so huge pace now for LAZER. And not a bad pace either here for Dangler. Of course, Dangler, you know, or maybe you don't know, but of course known for pace as well as the first player to get a perfect max out, meaning all Tetrises, no burn max out. Was that this year? I think that was this year. So both players 600 plus here. LAZER with a Tetris, the first one into 19 at 673. Dangler is in at 637. So a couple Tetris lead here for LAZER. Both players are kind of high here, but bringing their stacks down with Tetrises. And LAZER's already with a 722 pace on 19 and Tetrising into level 20. So huge paces here in our game number one of our orange bracket, which of course is always a 1 versus 16, which can make you think like, oh, players are gonna, you know, one player's gonna trounce the other one. Oh, and LAZER getting up high here. This is gonna take some doing to bring this down. Needs to build out that left and the right and just work out that middle. Okay, LAZER is bringing it down. All right, so it looks like LAZER is going to bring this down. Is now at a safe height on the board. Still not really Tetris ready. And of course, things can change, but this does... Well, now is Tetris ready for a dirty Tetris if he can get a bar, but the game is just not very forthcoming with these bars. And he's working like heck to keep this open and finally gets that dirty Tetris to uncover the column 10 well over on that right side and gets a bar down there. So, through all that digging, Dangler able now to take a lead, was back by 2 Tetrises at transition, and now is up by, oh, I don't know, about a Tetris when they have the same line count. So 967 Dangler, 906 for LAZER. Really great survival from LAZER, and maybe a little longer of a burn sequence than you'd really want, but with so many points able to be scored after the 29 transition, you know, survival really at all is a good thing. Max out here for Dangler. He's going to get another Tetris. He's at A70 going into level 27. We have 130 lines of 18 speed, 100 lines of 19 speed, and another 100 lines of level 29 speed. So we're just now about, well, on Laser side, about 8 lines away from the level 29 transition, where the speed, you think this is fast, well, the speed is about to double. And there's a Tetris for Laser into 29 at B34, so a 1.1. Despite that extended dig sequence, kind of in the middle of that 19 phase, Laser going to transition here, but this is not free. Try to down stack this. And Dangler in, he's got a C86, so a 1.2. So Dangler in the lead by about 140,000 points. Laser's board starting to climb a bit. And Dangler, oh boy. All right, Laser might be bringing this down. Dangler trying to bring this down as well. Not in scoring position. Tetris for Laser, bringing it down. Finally has the 1.2, but is 100,000 points behind Dangler. And I have a feeling I'm going to like mix these guys' names up like a million times if I haven't already. So apologies. D50 for Dangler. C22 for Laser. And Laser with the great, oh, that last second adjustment of that Z piece. Gonna keep him alive. But again, the board, he's just kind of fighting this upward pressure along the whole time of the board. And he's gonna top out at C32, and Dangler is good at D66. If you want to mull this out for a little bit, that's okay. Oh, being cheeky with that 5 below, and that's gonna kind of cost him a bit because he misdropped the piece right after placing the J piece, but whatever, doesn't care. He's going to take game number 1. Dog playing Tetris says, I do that 5 below misdrop so much too, though. Well, at the very least, you've got a flat place if you can recover. At least you got a flat place on that left for that square. I mean, you prefer not to misdrop it, but... okay, let's get these players some new pieces. New piece is going to be C4 5654. Charlie 4 5654. If there's a mod in chat who can pin seeds, that would be great. Charlie 4 5654. Thank you, Dog. Look at that dog doing the modly duties. Dog doing duties. C4 5654. Good. All right, both players are ready. It's game number 2. Dangler up 1 game to none. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Invictus Rage on Twitch says, I'm just saying that game did not look like Laser's PB was 2 million. Yeah, I don't know how much Laser, grinds PB attempts. I don't see him streaming Tetris a lot. Or how often he goes for it. But I mean, Laser certainly looked like he could have gotten an overall PB in this match. I mean, he was super pacing there at 19. Yeah, Invictus, we know what you mean. he means that in a good way. He means that, yeah, Laser looks like he should be one of those like top, 8 million plus players. See, Dan V, I got what Invictus Rage meant. All right, Laser taking his first burns here. Long bar over Tetris. Taking some skims, taking some Tetrises. And another Tetris Laser. So 139 for Laser, 99,940 for Dangler. So it was, Dangler versus It was it Hydrant in the finals? Am I giving too many spoilers? I don't know. I think at this point, you're either a person who watches things live or you're a person who watches things recorded. So I feel like if I give a spoiler during a live broadcast, then you've already watched it live or you don't care. I don't think I'll ever get over not caring about spoilers, you know? All right, Laser up pretty high here, having to take a triple for a skim here. Finally gets a couple of long bars here for Tetris's 241 for Laser, 245 for Dangler. Oh, Invictus Rage does not want me to talk about the Olympics. Well, I will not talk about the Olympics. I probably watched more Olympics this year than I ever did. You know, at least in a long time. Dangler up near the top of the board here. He's very dependent here, RNG dependent. And this could be tough to survive. We do see these kind of things from Dangler often here, but it looks like he's gonna survive this one and bring this stack down with the Tetris. 280 for him, 298 for Laser. When are the Olympics posted on YouTube? Yeah, we'll be posting them soon, don't worry. Vandy, what did you think of Serbia versus USA in the Olympics? I'm assuming you're referring to basketball. Too close. All right, Tetris here for Dangler, 354 through 95, 369 for Laser through 89. But Dangler right now actually ahead by about 15 lines. Yeah, I don't think the U.S. can just assume dominance in basketball, you know? Well, they can't really assume they're going to dominate in any sport, really. All right, Laser with a couple of placements here that are going to leave some issues to be dealt with, but he's taking care of it. Filling out that left side, no longer dependent. All right, 494 for Dangler. So pace is much more moderate in this game number 2. 516 Dangler, 513, now 536 for Laser. Dangler is the first one into 19 at 540. And if Laser will probably eclipse that. Just needs the 1 bar to do that. Dangler a little spiry there, columns 3 and 4. So we'll have to work around that. Tetris for Laser into 19 at 561. So just about a 1 Tetris lead into 19 for Laser. And Dangler still trying to fill out the middle here. Laser going to take a lead. And the lines are pretty similar, so it is a real lead. Well, I guess he was sort of already in the lead at 19. But sort of... Dangler with that extended dig, kind of giving him a chance to extend it or solidify it. All right, Dangler skimming away here, going to uncover that well on the right side. Taking the triple, keeping that board safe. And a Tetris for Dangler, 690. Another Tetris for him, 719. So ahead in score, Dangler, but Laser has lines in hand. That left side for Dangler is going to require some attention. We'll see how efficiently he can deal with it. He does get the Tetris to bring the stack down, so that should allow him to a little more latitude to work this out. So it's going to result in, I don't know, 5 or 6 burn lines overall. All right, Laser piling high here on 19, waiting out the bar. Gonna have to take a skim. There's a bar for Laser. And another one. So 828 on 24 for Laser. 794 for Dangler. The rollers shaking their heads, man. So Laser ahead in score, behind in lines. Tetris Dangler 864. Now we're just about 25 lines away from the 29 speed transition. It's just hard to imagine that, you know, right now players, I mean, this speed looks like totally insane, and then it's going to double, and then they can still play from there. I mean, it just doesn't, it still boggles the mind, even multiple years into 29 play being a thing. All right, nice S-spin for Laser down the right side. A65 has the max out here on 28. Dangler 944. So Laser with over 100,000 point lead as we approach the 29 transition. All right, Laser dependent here. They're just going to have to take a couple of birds. A little bit of an awkward stack. Gets a long bar over for a Tetris. B13 Laser here on 29. Dangler trying to bring this stack down and start scoring Tetrises again. Both players really just trying to, you know, low boards, you know, 6 rows or lower, but having to work it out. Dangler is first one to figure it out and get a Tetris. There is one for Laser as well. B64 Laser, B04 Dangler. So about a Tetris and change lead here. Dangler with another Tetris, but now has some gaps to work on. Tetris for Laser. And Dangler still trying to work out these gaps. Oh, Laser with kind of a interesting drop there of that L piece. Maybe just not exactly sure what was trying to happen because I only sort of half saw it, but this should clear away fairly easily for Laser. Dangler is clean, but not quite set up. Okay, now finally is able to establish or start establishing that right side well, gets a Tetris. C18, there's one for Laser. So both players pretty close in lines. Right now, Laser, oh, Laser with another Tetris, D24. C23 for Dangler. He's gonna get a Tetris. About a 60,000 point lead for Laser right now with a couple of lines in hand. The board's starting to climb for Dangler. Not sure he's gonna survive, and he's not gonna survive, and Laser is good in game number 2. If you want to mullen it out, go ahead. But yeah, Laser with some great clean stacking. Really never got himself into a real problem. You know, maybe a couple of minor complications, but was able to burn out of it pretty efficiently. And that's really the difference in this one. Laser here just with the Mega Mullen, Aggro Mullen, whatever. And going for that, well, will not be able to get a rollover here, but can still put up a pretty good score. And it's going to get into that 39 kill screen. It's got to feel good to get into that 39 kill screen no matter what. Say hello to YouTube. Vandy Neto JMS says, say hello to YouTube. Well, hello, YouTube. Yeah, is that a Masters PB for Laser? I mean, I don't recall a game going this high for Laser before, but could be. Not sure. All right. So it is, what? There it is, 1-1. You got better in challengers twice. All right, Laser knows. Okay, new pieces. 8209 DA. 8209 DA. Thank you, Dog, for the pin. Appreciate that. This was a Masters PB, says Scout. His previous PB was 1.341 versus Scooty in May 2024. So 8209DA, 8209DA. All right, looks good. By the way, if you do want to contribute to the prize pool, you can do so at ctm.gg/matcherino. We do have a $2,000 incentive, which means we will be able to pay the top 8 players if we get to it. That's $2,000. We're currently at $1,346. So please get over there, ctm.gg/matcherino, and contribute what you can. Okay, both players are ready. Let's get them started. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 in 3-2-1 Tetris. You're trying to enter Twitch, but it's giving you an unexpected error. I'm not sure what is happening there, Neto, so maybe somebody can help you out. I mean, Twitch is full of unexpected errors. And this stream specifically is replete with unexpected errors. You just subbed to CTM on Twitch and you can't even enter. Oh, maybe close that browser out. All right, Laser, depending on that left side, gets a nice bar. Oh, a couple of beautiful pieces for Laser to build out that left, flatten his stack out. And now he's just waiting on the bar for that right side. There's a bar. He's going to like that. 52,000 for him. And another one. All right, 120 for Dangler, 74,000 for Laser, who will Tetris to get his score up to 97, and now 120. Good players with a good start. Laser's got that black curtain behind him. You know, it's very, I don't know if he's got a stage or something, or he just, you know what, my room is a mess. I don't want anyone to see. I'm going to buy a curtain. That's what I should do some days right now. I still have all the stuff from the Lone Star, Championship. All that stuff is still in my apartment. Sue is pissed. Oh my God. She's so mad. It's all there in the hallway, just kind of it's lining the walls of the hallway, and I have yet to get to it. Because I have this fantasy like I'm going to organize it. Like, oh, this year it's going to be super organized instead of just a big pile of, you know, technology crap in a box that I have to sort out every year before the event. I have this fantasy that I'm somehow going to have it super organized. But maybe I just need to just dump it in big bins and throw it in storage and be done with it. 280 for Laser, 241 for Dangler. Oh, I guess we had a raid party of 10 about 6 minutes ago from Das Tetris. Thank you. Also see there was a Prime resub from Michael Keaton. I missed that earlier. Thank you very much. Says, hello all. Smiley face. Well, hello to you, Michael Keaton. You were the best Batman. All right, Dangler trying to avoid the line spin. It was just there. Just tantalizing me, you know. I wanted to see it. Dangler says, nope, not going to do it. Laser 417, Dangler 318. So just about a 100,000 point lead. Same line count. Left side for Laser is a little bit of a mess now after kind of a misdrop of a J piece. And these situations, you know, these players can definitely get out of them, but you just get the wrong run of pieces, and even pro level players can just get wrecked. All right, it's a great bar for the middle. Oh, there is a nice piece for that right side. Laser going to uncover 475. He gets a Tetris and another one. 498. Laser still maintaining that lead by about 60,000 points. That's a little under 3 Tetrises on level 18. Just about 20 lines for the 19 transition, where the speed will increase by 50%. All right, Dangler looking for a quick bar. It's just going to have to compromise here, so close to 19. Does not want to mess up his board anymore. Man, he's going to be able to bring this down after a few burns. 490 for Dangler, 566 for Laser. And sort of Laser adding a little bit to that lead. I am Dojo says, I hate level 19. I love level 19. Honestly, like I'm not good, but just sitting there like grinding level 18, I gotta be honest, I can't do it anymore. Like if I'm gonna get a PB, it's gonna come from improvements on 19. So I'm just grinding 19 for months. 686 for Laser here, level 25, 48 for Dangler on 20. So over 140,000 point lead now for Laser. What's your PB from 19 to 29? About 450? Something like that. So I'm just going to have to, you know, get a decent 18 and a great 19 in the same game. And then I will be good. 748 for Laser. There's a Tetris. 775. 632 for Dangler. And, you know, as the number 1 seed, you come in with a lot of confidence, and you think, well, okay, at the very least, I get to play a 16 seed. But, you know, today's day and age, the whole bracket up and down is dangerous. 833 for Laser. Tetris for Dangler. 748. And, you know, Laser did have to win an entire tournament to get into this tournament. So he's got the skills. And, you know, that challenger circuit now starting to get loaded. I mean, it's getting crowded. You know, running this tournament as a top 16 starting to get a bit ridiculous. And while I don't have a 100% definite plan, my intention is to start expanding the Masters event. Max out here for Laser on 25. He's now into 26 at A24. So incorporating more seeds is sort of something I want to do over the next several months. You know, when there was a clear, you know, top 12 to 16 players who were just miles ahead of the other challengers players, the players that would typically finish there, you could tolerate having a top 16, but now you're just seeing, you know, the challenger circuit populated by so many who I consider world-class players, and it just seems 16 at Masters is too tight. A75 for Dangler, B92 for Laser, and still 9 lines to go. A Tetris for Laser, C26. Dangler is the first one into 29 at B17, and Laser is into 29 at C64. So closer to a 1.3 than a 1.1 Laser, but that little bit of a snarl on that right side. Oh, great long bar for that right. Now needs something for the left. Doesn't want that to spiral out of control. Oh no, and that hang of that bar on the left. Could not get it over. That's going to be a top out. The target for Dangler is C79. C79 is the target for Dangler. He needs to lock in. Game 3, such an important game. You know, being up 2-1 versus being down 1-2 is very consequential. And Dangler knows the situation, is now starting to just single and double this out. Does not have to be aggressive at all. There's plenty of lines. Can just literally single this the whole way. Man, he's just going to take the time to do it. Now, sometimes this backfires on players because I think they're much more used to playing... Well, at least in the past. In the past, they were much more used to playing aggressively. And I think what the Rebirth Chase has done, and there's going to be the victory for Dangler in Game 3. But I think since the Rebirth Chase and these kind of... you know, game crash attempts and rebirth and all that kind of stuff, players are lining out a lot more, and so more players are, it just sounds silly, but players are better now at lining out than they used to be. And so now it's just easier. But, you know, in the past, you would see players try to go for these line out strats, and it would backfire because they were just not used to playing like that. All right, new pieces for these players. It's going to be 2E, A0, 2D, 2 Echo, A0, 2 Delta. Like, honestly, I mean, at the Masters level, I just don't see a lot of failed chase downs. Like, if there's plenty of time... It used to be more often than not players. I mean, I don't know. This isn't backed up by data, but my impression is more often than not, players who get nervous and the chase downs would fail. Any sizable chase down would fail, and it was notable if someone did chase something down. But now it seems like it's the opposite. Now, if a chase down fails, it's like, oh man. All right. Well, Dangler is up 2-1 over Lazer. And Lazer needs to win this one to force a deciding Game 5. So. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. So yeah, it is my intention to expand the Masters event. There's a little rumble tuck there for Dangler. I don't know why I call it rumble tuck. It just looks very rumbly with that T just kind of bashing around in there. So I've always called it in my mind a rumble tuck. Even though it's just a spin tuck. All right, Tetris Dangler start finally gets his first Tetris. Waiting on one from Lazer, and there it is. So yeah, it is my intention to expand the Masters event, probably incorporating the entire Challenger circuit, which sounds like, oh my god, I have to play a 32-player tournament each single month, and players are going to go, no, I don't want to do that. But I don't know, the couple tournaments I've seen with the flat bracket, I like this flat bracket idea a lot, and it's kind of my intention to incorporate both Challengers and Masters into one tournament, use the flat bracket, and that will give the top 8 challengers, the way it works is the top 8 seeds will get we'll get to skip a couple of rounds and get automatically into the top 16. The 9th through 16 seeds get into, get a 1-round bye, and then all the other players, the lower seed players, have to play against one another. So the good thing about it is that you don't have these matchups where the first matchup is like a 1 versus 32. Which, to be fair, you kind of, have a sense of how that's always going to go. So it's almost like, it's kind of like a round 0, like an extended 2-round round 0. With the 9 through 16 seeds having to defend their spot, basically. So I like it a lot. it means the top 8, there's really an incentive for finishing in the top 8, meaning you don't have to schedule early matches. So anyway, that is my intention. That is what I want to get to. I've been very impressed with the way that these flat bracket tournaments have been run. There was CT UK, and then there was one other one. And it just makes a heck of a lot of sense to me. And I've been working with scheduling scenarios to see how this works, and I think it's going to work. So that is the plan. Right now, the plan for Laser is to try to get out of this extended dig sequence, get rid of these gaps here, and start Tetrising again, and finally does do that. Establish a Tetris well, and a Tetris for Laser. 223 for him, 349 for Dangler. Did we get 4 long bars in a row? The flat bracket, I think, is great. It highly incentivizes you to get a top 8 seed. I think sometimes toward the end of the month, players try to game their seeds a little bit. Like, all right, I know I can pretty much slot myself into whatever position I want. But now, getting, or when we do this, the top 8 has a significant advantage just from having to skip a couple rounds. And, they still have to play a top 16 match. So it's no different really for them. But just not having to play in those early rounds means less scheduling. So I think there's more of an incentive. And yeah, the thing that always bothers me about top 32 tournaments is that those seed 1 and seed 32 matchups are just like so often go how you expect they're going to go that it ends up almost kind of being a I don't know. It just ends up being, I don't want to say an unfair matchup because the whole thing is fair, but it's not a close matchup. There's not a lot of viewing interest in it and not a lot of challenge for the players. So players in the early rounds will be forced to play players similar in skill and PB and seed and all that to themselves. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So that is the vision of where we're trying to go. I don't know exactly when that'll be, but sooner rather than later. 560 for Dangler, 378 for Laser. So a big lead for Dangler as we approach, and also Dangler with lines in hand. Now we have seen Dangler in the past show some inconsistencies here, just kind of errors of aggression, I would say. So I think that's what Laser has got to sort of hope for here. But today, not really so much. Dangler really seems to be playing much more efficiently than we've seen in previous CTMs. And Laser is in 438.19. And of course, Dangler fresh off a tournament win. And Laser's left side looks to be kind of a mess. Has to be really careful here that he doesn't cut off access to that left. At least bring it down a couple levels. Okay, that line gets over. And so now Laser can start to try to dig out, or just dig out of this. But the longer he digs, the more pace he yields to Dangler. And the one thing we know about Dangler is, the guy can pace. So now, there's a Tetris Laser. So about a 250,000 point lead for Dangler. Oh, nice adjustments there for Dangler. We'll see if it pays off. He's trying to be very efficient here. Does not have to be, and that's the thing, is when you're far ahead in a tournament, oh no, and there's very snarly looking over here, and not easy to burn this away. Okay, opens up that right side, and Dangler going to get a Tetris to survive. Laser's board now. Okay, he's going to open that. He gets a dirty Tetris. The board now survivable. Laser gets a dirty triple down the right side, now leaving a Tetris well in column 10, 3 rows off the bottom. And Dangler with another Tetris now has almost a 300,000 point lead. And now does have over a 300,000 point lead. So Laser yeah, about 300,000 points behind. Basically needs a long slowdown here from Dangler or an early top out to try to, you know, claw his way back in, or just, you know, something, or just massive inefficiency post 29. Max out for Dangler on 26. Laser's board starting to climb that left side dependent. Trying to chuck stuff in there. This, I don't know, Laser might have a little bit of give up here. And yes, that is going to be it. Laser's going to top out 652. So a valiant effort, but plagued by just misdrops and then RNG mismatches. And, you know, didn't quite match the stack he had, and that's going to do it. So Dangler is good. So we'll give the man his 3. And, you know, listen, if you want to mullen it out, you can. I mean, we like to get all the footage on the screen that we can. But if you want to mullen it out, that's fine. We'll watch. You don't have, I mean, you don't have to stop. I mean, but almost a 1.2 into 29. All right, folks, I'm going to set up our next matchup. It should be fairly easy, actually. All right, there it is. So easy when you got buttons. And let me just try to get these players refreshed. They're probably live. So GG's to Laser. Always great to see you here. I'm a big fan. You know, I think he's one of those players that's going to be, you know, if he continues to play and continues to try to make it in, he's on that, I think, on that short list, you know, of players just on the cusp of breaking out. All right, we've got Tommy. We just need Rations. Let me fix up these. Now, this is where I'm afraid I'm going to crash. So if it does crash, don't be surprised. When I start to mess around with these scenes in particular, I think is when it happens. So I'm going to have to look into that. Maybe it's the color source. It's possible it's color source. You know, OBS on Mac has never handled color sources or text sources very well. So I think that could possibly be it. We'll just do that. And we'll try to get Rations going. Oh, you posted a link in there? Okay, let me go dig that out. I don't have that. I don't have Discord open. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, shoot. What is it? Okay. I think we have a Rations sighting. Oh, Rations #1 fan is there. All right, just give me a moment here. I will give players their pieces while they wait. Oh, classic Tetris with the raid party of 162. Welcome to viewers of twitch.tv/classic Tetris. I hope you enjoyed the Kansas City Regional that you were watching. I watched a bunch of it earlier. Always a fun time. They do a great job. And we are here playing the orange bracket of the CTM Masters event. We just saw Dangler take out Laser Monkey, and now we've got Rations and Tommy NTG. The winner of this match will play Dangler in a top 8 match. What's up, Blue Scooty's grandpa? All right, here's the pieces. There's a mod in chat who can pin that. That would be good, but it's 7F8973. And just need to do one other little thing here. Okay, there's that. And let's match the carpet. We'll match the carpet. So it looks like there's carpet over here. All right, there's more carpet than you can handle. And let me just adjust Tommy's camera to match a little bit so that we get some balance here. Okay. Close as I can get it. Okay. We survived. We haven't 7F8973, 7F8973. All right, both players are ready. It is round 1 still of the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event. Orange bracket. We've got Rations taking on the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters winner, Tommy NTG. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Rations coming in at the number 8 seed. Tommy coming in at the number 9 seed. But at this point, there's not a lot of difference between the various seeds up and down. Like, generally speaking, Masters is going to contain at least the top, 12 players, and they all seed themselves variously high and low across different months, seemingly randomly. Rations, last time we checked the leaderboard, 6.5 million PB, number 9 in the world. Tommy with a 4.57, number 14. Those are accurate as of the beginning of the month, and that is what is on the leaderboard document that the Classic Tetris community uses to track PBs. So any errors, they're not mine. So, but if that's changed since then, well, that'll be reflected next month. Of course, Tommy as a former CTM Masters event winner, and won that back all the way, if you can imagine, in April of 2021, over 3 years ago. Somehow, Tommy was playing Tetris over 3 years ago, and boy, it's going to take 3 years to get out of this dig, and he's not going to get out of it. So a round 1, kind of a disaster there for Tommy, and Rations is good already. So Rations, you can top out. You are good. Tommy topped out at 117. And as Martz would say, warm-up is done. Yeah, Game Scout says, ultra rare Tommy early top out in Masters. All right, new pieces for these players. D2 4D83, Delta 2 4 Delta 83. All right, let's check the seeds. D24, D83, D24, D83. Good. All right, both players are ready for game number 2. So let us get it started. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, their prediction. Oh, okay, let me choose the prediction here. I don't usually get involved in predictions, but I will do it. And if somebody wants to make some kind of prediction based on the current state that we have, maybe Or I'll do one. You have a minute. You've got a minute. We made a 3-way prediction. Anyhow, you know, these early top outs in game one can throw me off a little bit. But yes, Tommy was a winner of CTM Masters in April of 2021 in a sweep against Tristop all the way back then. And also very famously finished second in Mega Masters 2023, second to Alex T, and has a lot of top 8 finishes in CTM. Mostly going out to Alex T, Pixelandy, Fractal, and all that. Like, in fact, all of Tommy's exits in the top 8 came against Alex T, Miles, Andy, Fractal. Those are the 4 players. So if you're not like a world-class player, there's a good probability you're not going to knock Tommy out in the top 8. 176 for Ramations, 113 for Tommy. And as far as I can tell, I don't know, is this possible? Liquipedia is telling me that these 2 players have never played against each other in CTM. That seems very improbable to me. But I guess that, I mean, for just how often both these players have played. But I don't know. Tommy did have kind of a layoff for a while, right? Just was not playing. And maybe that was kind of during the time that, you know, of Ramation's ascent up the ranks. 228 for Tommy, 248 Ramations. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I just feel like, you know, these players have been around for a long time and have been making Masters pretty consistently. $317 for Ramations, $297 for Tommy. Both players out of the United States of America. August Han says, Vandy, we need to know what your dinner is. It's for a greater good. Honestly, I think I'm having leftovers. So earlier, we have these like low carb tortillas, right? And, you know, I shop at Costco. So earlier, kind of like as a snack, because this is taking place right during dinner time. As a snack, I had a vision. And my vision was the following. Oh, there's the 5 below for Ramations. 389 for Ramations, 346 for Tommy. Costco sells, or just started selling, called like a smoked brisket dip, which is like a creamy brisket smoky dip. And it is so good. Like, if you are a Costco person and you have this available, and that sounds like something you might like, go get it immediately. So my vision was, though, to take a tortilla, smear it with this dip, put some shredded cheese in there and a dill pickle, like a dill pickle spear, roll it up and put in the air fryer. And I did that as an experiment, and it was amazing. It was one of the best things I've ever eaten, and it was so simple. Anyway, that's a tip from your old pal Van Dweller here, level 18 patter. 549 for Ramations, 464 for Tommy NTG. What's up, Cobra? Yeah, I rolled it up kind of like a taquito, but I closed the ends of it. It was really good. It has brisket in the dip. It had, you know, brisket, beef brisket. All right, Rahmation's trying to figure out that right side. A couple of, you know, kind of a weird gap there. He's just going to have to take this away. Oh, a very dependent board here for Rahmations, but it does have a 600K here on 19. 562 for Tommy as well. And so Rahmations trying to figure out how to get rid of that gap. It's been kind of pesky because every time he tries to get rid of it, he just covers it with something else. And then, of course, now that it's uncovered, created another gap over on that left side. So Rahmations would really like a bar here just to clean this up. Finally gets one with a covered well, but there's one with an uncovered well. 645 for Rahmations here on 21. 593 for Tommy on level 20. Why was there a dill pickle in there? Just to give it some acidity to cut through the brisket and the spiciness, just to give it a little bit of a something in there. It was, you know, it was an inspiration. Have you ever had like a fried pickle? That was kind of my inspiration. A fried pickle plus a kind of egg roll or taquito kind of thing. 708 Tommy, 757 Rahmations. And, you know, Clausen pickles. Those are the best ones. All right, Rahmations trying to figure out the middle of this board. Again, kind of pesky gap there in the middle of it. Uncovers long bar over triple for Rahmations. And he's still clinging to the lead. Tommy has not really been able to capitalize too much on these burn sequences from Rahmations. All right, and it is 19, guys. We got to stop talking about brisket dip roll-ups with pickles in them. Now it's time to talk about Tetris. All right, there's a nice Tetris from Rahmations to clean up the middle here. Leaves another gap in column 10. They're just trying to figure out how to work this stuff away efficiently. And Rahmations has not had a huge, I don't know, like a long run of just uninterrupted Tetrising. And yet finds himself in the lead by, you know, about 2 Tetrises or a Tetris and a half or something like that. All right, there's a nice Tetris Rahmations, 977. There's one Tommy, 951. All right, long bar over Tetris Rahmations, max out, 224 lines. Tommy looking to max out here while on 28. There's a Tetris. Rahmations is the first one into 29. The speed is doubled. He's got an A95. Both players rolling, of course. And Tommy is in. He's got the max out. A high board, though. Need to find skims. Oh, and that bar is going to hang in column 1. Tommy gets another one over, though. Can he survive after that? And no, but my goodness. I didn't think he was going to get that bar over to the right. Rahmations is good in game number 2. Unfortunate hang for Tommy in column 9. Gets one more bar over and maybe had an opportunity if the right pieces come to work this down, but not going to be able to do it. And Rahmations is good in game number 2. Andrew Meep says a 30 hertz 4-tap. Yeah, is that like frame perfect? Like, my goodness. Players are too good. So Rahmations is good. Up 2 games to none. Tommy on the ropes. Give these players some pieces. Trebstep Gaming first time chat says for real, for real. $12 high is the highest you can get. Sheesh. By the way, thank you, K9 watching Tetris 13 minutes ago with the 3, 2, 1 countdown bits. Appreciate that, K9. You know, everybody, you've fallen out of the habit of doing countdown bits. It used to be K9, and then who is the other countdown bitter? But y'all have gotten out of the habit. Yeah, it is crazy to see in game a frame perfect 12 high right. E8421D, E8421D. Both players are ready for game number 3. Whoops, I can't just type 3. It's a command. All right, there we go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Rations looking to lock it up right now. Tommy needs to win to stay in the tournament. And if that's going to happen, he's going to have to win 3 in a row. Oh, Colin. Colin used to do countdown bits, but there was one more person who used to do countdown bits. Like they would do like 6 bits, right? The 6 bits version, the mini countdown bits. I forget who that was. They went away. They were like, hey, Vandy, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to do countdown bits anymore. I got to go away for a while. And yeah, and I don't think I've seen them back. But, you know, for a good 6 months, they were just called out in every single video multiple times because of doing those 6 bits. No, it wasn't K9. K9 does the mega countdown bits, 321. Who was that? Colin would do the medium ones with the 33, 22, 11. Remember who I'm talking about, Mari? They would just do the 6 bits. Harold. That was Harold. Yeah. Yeah, Harold with the 3, 2, 1 countdown bits. Has Harold been around? I don't recall seeing Harold too much. What's up, random name YouTube? Welcome. Thanks for the kind words, which I hope are non-ironic or sarcastic, but I don't know. I have my good days and bad days. 162 for Rations through 32. 127 for Tommy, who's working on a center well. There's another Tetris Rations. Yeah, I haven't seen Harold around in a while. So Harold, if you're out there, at least say hello. You do not have to do any more countdown bits. But, you know, we just want to know that you're out there and doing well. Tetris Rations 255 through 50. 176 for Tommy. Both, well, no, Tommy will Tetris. And Rations gonna misdrop here, do the DAS head shake. Build out, get a Tetris in the meantime. But anyway, speaking of ways of supporting the channel, did you know that if you are an Amazon Prime member, that every single month you have a Twitch Prime subscription that you can grant to the streamer of your choice, and while it is free for you, it gives a little bit of a financial boost for the streamer that you choose to give it. So consider giving it to this channel once in a while. Keep us in the rotation. Just don't let it expire, because it's use it or lose it. And Rations with a snarl here gets a long bar over to the right side to bring this down. And Tommy kind of waiting here. Oh, kind of bar timing, not great. Now uncover that well again. Long bar in. Dirty Tetris, Tommy 267. All right, and both players now with clean boards. 293 Tommy, 387 Rations. All right, both players there with T-dependent boards. Okay, Rations, though, going to get a T-spin. Long bar over Tommy. Rations can't use his bar. Now is open again. Trebstep Gaming says, these guys are so good. I improve by watching. Like, what the hell? I wish that I would improve by watching, but apparently I don't. It's now been years. I thought I would wrap this max out quest in like 2020, something like that. Move on to other games. Alas, I'm too stupid to max out, apparently. 469 Rations, 374 Tommy. Amy Garcia says, why Joseph Saley isn't playing anymore? Yeah, he kind of retired, let's say 2021. And, you know, once rolling hit, I don't think he had the motivation to want to learn a whole new play style, and had already accomplished a lot in classic Tetris. And, you know, I think it, you know, just decided to move on into other things. 501 transition for Rations, Tetris, and another one. So very quickly, 551 here on 20. 410 transition for Tommy. So kind of low transitions for both these players. Good adjustment for Tommy to tuck in a J piece. And, you know, sometimes you just know, like, all right, I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. I have other things I want to do in life. And, you know, and other people say, boy, this is a major thing for me that I want to keep doing forever. And, you know, the sport is different for all different people. You know, some people want to stick around. Some people just said, okay, I've done my time, been there, done that. And that's okay. 545 Tommy, 666 now, 695 for Rations. Tetris Tommy 573, so about 120,000 point lead for Rations. Yeah, I think you could, I don't know, at least a year ago, I do recall seeing him on Instagram powerlifting. But I don't know how recently he's posted or anything. I don't really look at Instagram. But like maybe twice a year. Tetris Rations 812, 688 Tommy. Tommy needs to win this one to keep going in the tournament. I think there were quite a few players, sort of when rolling started, that were just like, well, you know, that's not something I really want to put time into. And they've already had, you know, sort of accomplishments that they can feel good about for the time that they played. And so it just made sense not to play anymore. And you know, you got to respect it. 944 Rations, 827. I mean, can you imagine if every single good player back in 2020 and before stuck around, learned rolling, how much tighter these top 16s would be? I mean, imagine every single great player back then still here and still top rollers. I mean, it would be insanity at the top. I mean, there already is insanity at the top. Max out here for Rations on 28. 896 for Tommy. I mean, it's already tight enough as it is at the top. Imagine if, like, you know, Richard. Oh boy, Rations in a transition here at A61. So the top, that is a top out. The target for Tommy is A62. Has Forever in a Day, but a little bit awkward stack here. Okay, gonna uncover and get a triple down that right side. So now Tommy has a while. He could literally single this out the entire way. A62 is the target. Tommy's wanting to start, you know, a little comeback arc here. And we'll need to chase this down to do it. He's got the max out. Now needs 50,000 points to get there. He knows the situation, so he is just gonna single and double it out. Low risk, no aggression, and low enough especially as a roller, low enough where if he does make a mistake or something, he can recover. Yeah, there are a lot of players we, from the past that we kind of miss, wish they were still around. DAS Masters has brought some of those players back, and not just DAS Masters, but the other DAS events. All right, Tommy just 7,000 points away. 2 more should do it. And there it is. Tommy is going to take game number 3. So hold the phone. Rations is still alive in this tournament. When is CTM tap? Probably not some. I don't have a lot of interest in a CTM tap tournament. I don't want to have to define the spirit of tap, which sounds more like, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers rather than Tetris. I don't know. Maybe my thoughts will change on that. Maybe my thoughts will change, but thank you, Gilded Lizard. In the spirit of tap. All right, new pieces, A9C1 9C. I'm not qualified to really define the spirit of tap. A9C1 9C. But yeah, I just don't have a lot of personal interest in doing it, so maybe that could change, but here's the thing. What we've learned with the DAS Masters is that generally the best players in the world have all switched to rolling, and they're all still really good on any play style. That doesn't mean that all the best DAS players are rollers, but a lot of the same names keep appearing in that qualifier with, some new or, kind of other people who are getting an opportunity as well. All right, so A9C19C. Game number 4. Tommy again needs to win this one to stay in. Ration's looking to wrap it up right now against a dangerous player. Let's get him started in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And yeah, that one of those, I guess that's a good point that Keely is making, or I don't know how you pronounce your name, Keely13, but one of those games was an early top out by Tommy. So at least in that games, Rations wasn't really put to the test. So, this could be a closer match than it would appear to be at first. Or appear to be as a 2-0 game anyway. What am I saying? I don't know. Oh, Tommy setting up the Vits there with the Z piece. Now, had a Tetris ready, right? Did Tommy have the Tetris ready? But I don't know. This could cost Tommy. We'll see. If he gets droughted here, this could be a problem. Jasmine says, big fan of Vits. But that was kind of unnecessary Vits, right? Couldn't he have just taken the Tetris? He had a Tetris set up, right? Maybe I'm sitting too close to the screen. 141 Rations, 102. It was a triple setup? All right, thanks, Franklin. All right, well, maybe he saved himself a little bit of efficiency, although does find himself now about 60,000 points behind, just under 3 Tetrises. Trying to keep that well open for the bar. That will succeed. He'll get a Tetris. Oh, and the Vits. Look at the Vits for Tommy. Jasmine loves it. Like the interior Vits coming in from the other side. Jasmine, I'm sure, is freaking out. All the Vits enjoyers loving it. Couple long bars in a row for Rations. And here come those bars for Tommy. You can't use them for Tetrises. And people enjoying maybe the style of the Vits over the substance of the Vits. All right, Rahmation's going to throw a long bar down that left side. That'll clear away one. And now just, well, a few more. Well, it's actually kind of covering that right side all over again. All right, gets a bar to the left. Plenty of room to spare there for Rahmations. And all right, it's going to bring this down and gets a Tetris. 319 for Rahmations, 100,000 point lead over Tommy at the moment. 342 to 237. Tetris Rahmations 364. Just about at the 80 line mark. You'd really like ideally to be around 400,000 points at 80 lines. And Tommy was well below that, so maybe not quite a suffer game, but certainly lower than Tommy would like to be right now. Rahmation's working one row off the bottom. And players getting a little droughted here. Finally, the bar for Rahmations, that same bar coming in for Tommy. You know, Tommy back by several lines. I do have to be careful not to spoil the long bars. I don't have to be careful, but I do try to be careful not to do it. $412 Tommy, $465 Rahmations. All right, Rahmations on that left side, a bit dependent here now. Has a little bit of traffic to clean up here. So sort of fighting now. Up near the top of the screen. Oh no, that S to the right for Rahmations is going to be a top out at 471. And Tommy needs to chase down a 472 is safe as a chase down target for Tommy. So Rahmations getting a little bit high on the screen there, too close to transition and just ended up hanging a piece. So 472 and there it is, 472 for Tommy. So maybe players exchanging gifts in this match. Yeah, 472 is good, Tommy. You are good. So Tommy gives Rahmations a gift in game one. Rahmations giving one to Tommy in game four. And that is going to set up a decider. That's right. Level 18 is solved, guys. We don't need to start on level 18 anymore. SV says this is Masters in 2024. Dan V says this is Masters in 2019. All right, players, we'll give you seeds if you need to take a moment. You can take a moment. I suppose I should report these matches. That would be a good thing to do. So Dangler versus LAZER was that a sweep? That was a sweep, right? 3-1. Okay, 3-1. Got it. All right, both players are ready. It is a decider, so let's get that D on the screen. There it is. The decider is there on the screen. Both players ready, and everybody is ready. The winner of this goes on to round two. to face the Dangler. Let's get him started. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, Tommy filling out his board, kind of started with a almost like a perfect staircase, but filling all that out and is now flat and Tetrising. 3 Tetrises to start off this game number 5 for Tommy and for Rations as well. The players stacking. Tommy might be the first one to have to take a burn. And it looks like that is going to be the case. Tetris Rations 114 through 20 lines. Another Tetris Rations. All right, Tommy was taking a few skims here, waiting out the bar. There's the bar. 118. Rations 182, 400 through 32. So it started out 2 games to none for Rations. We have Tommy has crawled back. To force a decider. And so far, so good for Rations. You know, both players at pretty good paces. If you're, around 200K through 40 lines, you're doing pretty well. Tetris for Tommy, for Rations, 273 through 48. Oh, Bacon, you're trying to comment or curse it. $283 for Tommy, $342 for Rations. There's a Tetris Tommy, 307 through 66. And Rations 364. If you double their score right now, you'll get a sense for what they are on pace for, transition-wise. $410 through 72 for Rations, $352 for Tommy. Another Tetris for Rations, who's piling them up. All right, Rations is forced into his first couple of burns. He started off with 76 consecutive lines worth of Tetrises. But this is a tournament, not a perfect Tetris competition. And so when you got to take the burn, you take the burn. I think sometimes, it's happened not more than a few times that players have said, oh, I'm on perfect pace. Let me just try to do a little bit of suboptimal stacking here to see if I can preserve my perfect pace. And which is great if that's what you're going after, but generally in a tournament, you want to win the tournament. So 494 for Rations, 476 for Tommy. And, despite, Rations being basically perfect, well, actually perfect through 76 lines, Tommy not all that far behind. There's a Tetris Rations. Good adjustment to make room, I think, for an incoming J and get Tetris ready. 562 for him, 521 for Tommy. $630 for Rations. 2 Tetrises available before the 19 transition. It's kind of high there in columns 8 and 9 and starting to pile up before we get to 19. So we'll want to take care of this and flatten this stack out a bit. And now it's a real drought. Tommy is in at 560. So Rations taking a couple of flattening burns here on that right side. Trying to avoid taking a triple. Ends up having to take a double here. That is a real drought for both of these players. Long bar over Tetris Rations, 671, 570 for Tommy, who's going to kind of hesitate or just kind of, I don't know, maybe I want to call it a panic placement, but have a non-optimal placement in the middle of the board here. It's going to cause additional burning. He's got to open up that right side, though. Long bar over Tetris, 604 Tommy, 677 Rations. And Rations would love to bring this stack down, does so with a Tetris. Tommy's going to get one 634. So Tommy ahead in lines by about 7 to 9 lines, something like that. Rations, Tetris, good flat stacking here from both of our players. Tetris, Tommy 668. So about 100,000 point lead for Rations and lines in hand as well. So he's got the score advantage, the pace advantage, the lines, basically every advantage at the moment. Tetris Tommy 787. There's one Rations 860. Another Tetris Tommy 818. It's going to be really up to Rations here to try to take a good stack into 29 and just stay alive and keep scoring because he has a decent lead now over Tommy. Tetris Tommy 916, 929 Rations. Again, Rations behind in lines by about 13. So even when Rations is behind, at least right now, he's ahead. Until unless some long slowdown happens. Kind of dependent in the middle of that board, though. L's and J's and line dependent all over the place. It's just going to have to find a way to bring this down as we approach level 29. Max out here for Rations. There's the max out for Tommy. Another Tetris Tommy, A58. Now he's, trying to establish a real lead. He's got a score lead. Again, still ahead in lines by a little bit. Tetris Rations, A79. And Tommy is in a little awkwardly here, but able to bring this down with some good pieces, fill this board out. Rations is in at 1.115. Tetris Rations B53 ahead by about 70,000 points. A low board here on 29. Trying to build it out. Good piece for that left side. Gonna bring this down before it gets out of hand. That left side is going to be a problem for Rations. That's going to be a top out at B62. So the target for Tommy is B63. And he's starting to bring this down. Needs to uncover that right side. He's got forever and a day to try to work this out. And we'll see if Tommy can do it and complete the reverse sweep. Rations brought a good board into 29. But ended up kind of placing a piece over on that left side that made him dependent and then couldn't get pieces over there and ended up hanging them. So Tommy just here in check down mode, just singling, doubling. Does not want to do anything too crazy. B63, as we said, is the target. And it's so tough against a champion like Tommy to really just give him anything at all. Because you can see the cold, calculated precision with which he's chasing these down. And that's going to do it for this match. Tommy will come back with a reverse sweep. Rations was up 2-0. And an unfortunate kind of game 4 for Rations. Going to allow Tommy back into the match, and Tommy will take advantage and move on to round number 2. We will watch Tommy finish this out. Just about 21 lines away from the 39 transition, and no, he's going to top out pretty much right now. Okay, we'll be back in a moment with our round 2 matchup. It's going to be Dangler versus Tommy. So just give me a moment. I need a moment myself here. We'll give these players a moment to kind of chill and do what they need to do. And if you want to watch them warm up, we can do that. Okay? All right, I'll be back. All right, folks, we are back. Before we start our round 2 matchup to determine who goes to the semifinals, I want to make a little plug here for the Matcherino. We love to get to $2,000 every month. I think we've only not gotten to $2,000 like one time in the last 3 years. So why is it so important that we get to $2,000 in the Matcherino? Because if we get there, see, right now we're paying out the top 4. That means you have to get into the semifinals to win a prize. But if we get to $2,000, that means that we can pay the top 8. That means that anyone, including the 2 players we're about to see, anyone who wins a match in this tournament will get a prize. And that is very motivating to the players. They know at the very least, you know, hey, I can take the time to qualify because all I got to do is win one match and I can win at least 50 bucks. So that is a very motivating thing to the players. The prize pool is the #1 thing that keeps the players coming back every single month, putting in the time. It makes it worth it for them to put in the time to practice. And, you know, as opposed to what? As opposed to going out and getting some job working at a yogurt shop, right? Do you really want, like, Alex T working at a yogurt shop? No. You want him to be playing Tetris for your entertainment, right? So, if you want that to continue to happen, please go to where? ctm.gg/Matcherino. You can use the Matcherino command in chat. And just while I was talking about it, Supdaft contributed $10. And you say, well, man, I see all these people contributing so much money. I don't have that amount of money. It doesn't matter. It all makes a difference. So whether it's $1, $2, $5, $10, $25, whatever an amount is that you feel like you can be comfortable contributing, please do it. It's the number one thing. We've only got, you know, this broadcast, Tuesday's broadcast, and the finals broadcast to get to our incentive, and we can't keep counting on these big, huge contributions to come in. We really need them to come in at the, you know, $5, $10, $20 level from a whole bunch of y'all. So really appreciate everybody who's contributed so far to the prize pool, including Scott Gray, Jens Axpo, K9 Watching Tetris, Uncle Ungie, JD Turkleton, Arbaro, Quinn Culver, Game Scout, Rogue Potato, Tom J, Supdaft, Winter, and Reinbold and GS Cookie, and all of those of you who have done sponsor quests. So thank you very, very much. In fact, yeah, we kind of need to make this Alex T working at a yogurt shop thing happen. I don't know why I want to see that. So, I don't know if there's any yogurt shop out there that wants to sponsor Alex T and have him work for an afternoon and get some viral content. Sounds like a winner to me. Gotta be honest. All right, let's get these players some pieces. New pieces are going to be E84644. E84644. Imagine you go to the yogurt shop and you're like, oh, I'm going to get some yogurt. And then you just got Alex T out there with like yogurt all over his head. Like, spitting brain rot at you. I want that. I want that to happen. Don't let your memes be dreams, you know? Let's get that to happen. If you are a yogurt shop or know anyone who owns one, let's make it happen. Andrew says, I would find another shop, honestly. Yeah, maybe. E84644. Both players have got the pieces. No, we definitely want that to happen. Okay. Both players are ready. Dangler and Tommy are waiting. They're willing and able, and they're wanting to play this match. So let us go ahead and get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now, you may know Tommy as a former CTM Masters event winner. Won this event all the way back in April of 2021. April 2021, over 3 years ago, and still relevant at the highest levels of Tetris. Did beat Tristop in the finals. So that was one of those times when Tristop almost got there, but instead it was Tommy. And Noah, or Dangler. You've seen him variously on this broadcast as Dangler and Noah Dang, and all the same person. Fresh off a victory in the Northeast Regional yesterday. So sorry for the spoilers, guys, but there's always a this is a spoiler stream, all right? You know, this stream is for people who are up to date in Tetris and want the very latest. 147 for Tommy, 143 for Dangler. Dangler also a multi-time winner of our various tournaments below the Masters level, having won a Challenger circuit this year in January, one in May 2023. Those are the feeder tournaments that feed into the Masters event if you win. And also a very high showing in this year's Classic Tetris World Championship. And maybe I won't spoil it for you, or maybe I will. I don't know. Should I spoil it? Maybe I won't. But a good finish, and actually back-to-back good finishes in CTWC. I really want to spoil it. These players have faced each other exactly one time in the Classic Tetris monthly cinematic universe. And that was a round one match last year in October. That must have been Faster Masters. Was that Faster Masters, October 2023? No, that wasn't Fasters. Was that Fasters? That sounds to me like Faster Masters. It was, yeah. So that was the Faster Masters 2. And they faced each other in round one. So they've never faced each other in a kind of regular CTM tournament. Faster Masters, of course, was level 19 start with an abbreviated kind of super kill screen coming in at 200 lines. And Tommy took out Dangler in a sweep in round one, but it probably took like 6 minutes. 367 Dangler, 369 for Tommy. There's a lot of players in this tournament this month who have yet to win a CTM Masters event. And, you know, of course, there are a lot of accomplishments that you can have in the Classic Tetris scene, but I still think the Masters event is one of those kind of quintessential I have arrived kind of accomplishments. I think they still think of it that way. Tommy already having won one. Dangler, not yet, but I mean, what, you know, I think that would put a real exclamation point on Dangler's year. Again, had a great CTWC run, just won the Northeast Regional. And it's something that he's had multiple shots at doing. Tommy, of course, would love to win one as well, just because, you know, the last time he won it was over 3 years ago. And it would kind of, you know, sort of solidify, you know, his position as a long-term kind of dominant figure in the Classic Tetris scene. So I think they both want to win. Now, if Tommy were to win this, that would set the record for the longest period of time between Masters victories. Currently belongs to Zafanya Nenu across 2019 and 2021. That was 20 months in between victories. 479 for Tommy. Freezy Burn with the $50 contribution to the prize pool. Thank you, Freezy Burn. That's going to bring our pool up to 1406. Thank you, Freezy Burn. Really appreciate that. $50. If we string together a bunch of $50 ones, we can really get to that $2,000 incentive in no time. 675 for Dangler, 553 for Tommy NTG. Dangler, of course, earlier, I want to say, it was this year, right? Earlier this year was the first ever player to get a perfect max out, meaning all Tetrises, no burns, max out. And so kind of known for these pace games. But this is a tournament. Perfect doesn't matter. It's survival that matters. And Dangler, of course, winning that tournament yesterday. So maybe starting to put all this together to start maybe, making a run. $673 for Tommy, $851 for Dangler. Now this event right now, players, the same player has won what, 4 months in a row? Alex T, and he's still alive in this tournament. He's in the semis. 3 months. 3 months. 4, sorry. I do this stuff all the time. So looking to make it back 4 back. That would be the first one ever, but he's won it 3 months in a row. And this is kind of a wide open month for non-winners. Or not yet winners. 974 here for Dangler, 776 for Tommy. So Dangler up about 200,000 points, or a little under that. But we have only 4 previous winners this month out of 16. So every once in a while you get one of those months where a few top players are kind of taking a break or unavailable. And that does leave open an opportunity for people to get their first one. 1.1 from Dangler here on 27. 886 for Tommy. $5 contribution says, whoops, another rabbit hole. Thank you for the $5 contribution to the prize pool. Freezy Burn, by the way, along with their contribution, says, got really into watching Tetris after the Summoning Salt documentary. I want these guys to be blowing minds for years to come. So thank you, Freezy Burn. We are into 29. Kind of a little trouble on that left side for Tommy. Oh, and he's going to hang a bar. Can he get one over? The answer appears to be no. And that's going to be a top out for Tommy in game number 1. And Dangler is good. So Tommy cannot survive the transition into level 29. Kind of transitioned a little bit, weighted over to the right side, and just was not able. Just one little hang there, kind of a missed 5-tap to the left, is going to do Tommy in. So Dangler is good. That's going to bring us to 14-11-71. We're just 588.29 away. 588.29 away from our $2,000 incentive. All right, new pieces. 107056. Someone asking, will this be the month that first time Dangler or Sidnev wins Masters? Could be. But with Alex T in there and having won 3 times in a row, being the reigning CTWC champion, having the overall score world record, no matter how you slice it, I mean, it's Alex's tournament to lose until he does. $107,056. 107,056. They are good. Both players ready here in game number 2. Let us not delay. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, that's a good. People saying, oh, well, this time it was Tommy who got the early top out. No, that was a top out into that. I mean, that was that. Does that count as an early top out? Is anything before 29 now early? So what do you consider in chat? Let me know, what do you consider an early top out? How many lines in? What level? All right, Dirty Tetris here for Tommy. 50,000. I still think of, like, canonically early top out is on 18. But, a surprising top out is early 19 speed. Vitz for Dangler gets filled in. 93,000 for him. 96,000 for Tommy. Doc Pie says Masters before 35, Community on 18, between before 29. That seems a little aggressive to me, Doc. Dangler with a Tetris, but has some gaps and issues to take care of now. 166 Tommy, 147 Dangler. A classic East Coast, West Coast battle. Dangler on the east, Tommy on the west. SV Nestris says every game that isn't 1.8 into 39 is a failure. We're not quite there yet, but who knows? I mean, that could be the case where players just get so consistent that it would be surprising if they don't get that. And that's the time when we have to, you know, maybe we need the level 49 super duper kill screen. $289 Tommy, $253 for Dangler. You can double their scores to get a sense of their 19 transition pace. Tommy left side, that L is going to complicate things a little bit. Going to slow him down a bit, might allow Dangler back into it, but actually kind of setting up dirty here. He's gonna have to take another skim if he wants the dirty, or another, well, yeah, he's just gonna take that triple. It's not gonna mess around. If you start trying to nurse that well for a while, you can just end up burning way too many lines. 344 Dangler, 347 Tommy. And Tommy set up dirty now. Left well, 3 rows up. And there's a Tetris Tommy, 370. Dangler gets one in the meanwhile. Oh, that bar didn't make it all the way to the right for Dangler. So that is going to force him into a couple of burns here. Tetris Dangler, 421, 376 Tommy. Tetris Dangler, 490. 425 Tommy NTG. Tacky says, I still want my under 100K league. I mean, it exists. You say it every time, but I don't know what other words to use, Tacky, to let you know that exists. Just go to TNP. They have it. It exists. Of course, I met Tacky in Montreal last week. Seems like a nice man. Tommy's got to be careful here as he approaches 19. Taking a skim here. Dangler's in there first, though, at 566. Tommy's not going to listen, though. He prefers doing things his own way. Oh, and he covers it well just in time for that bar to come. See if we can get another one quick. And both players here covered well. Dangler's going to uncover. Tommy uncovers. And Dangler, the first one with the bar and another one. A couple Tetrises here for Dangler, 646. Tommy's going to bring his stack down with Tetris as well. What does NTG mean in Tommy's name? Someone asked. It means NES Tetris Gamer. That was Tommy's original screen name. It was NES Tetris Gamer. And we also, Alex T's was Tetris Gamer 12345. So we had both of these players at the same time with very similar names. And I kind of browbeat them into changing their names because they're so generic. I said, guys, will you just change your names to something with a little more character? And they did. 762 for Dangler, 653 for Tommy. Yeah, they both had like almost identically generic and boring names at the same time. Someone's Dog says we could have had Tetris Gamer versus Nestris Gamer in the finals of Mega Masters. True, but I ruined it. Sorry, Dog. Meanwhile, we also could have had Dog playing Tetris and Doge Nestris. That never happened. Oh, Dangler not going to get that triple. This is a problem. Dangler going to recover and uncover and get a Tetris. 869 for him. And another Tetris down. He's going to bring this down. 902 for Dangler. 820 for Tommy NTG. Tommy setting up that little delayed burn here. Needs the L to convert it, but he's going to end up having to pile more on top. That's going to lead to some extra burning, and it's hard to give up this burning to a player like Dangler who can pace. All right, Tommy's setting up with that long bar. Column 9. Going to kind of mess up that that L piece here. Needs to uncover and just 11 lines away from 29. So Tommy has got to uncover. He does uncover. Would love a bar right now and gets it. Dangler is into 29 at B19. And Tommy's in at about 943. Dangler with some work to do here. Needs to access that left and build it out. Try to uncover these gaps in the middle of the board. Tommy with a Tetris, 991. He's back by about 140,000 points. Richard Wolf, thanks for the raid, by the way. Dangler set up in column 8 and gets it. C16. Tommy finally with the max out here on 31. And the board's starting to climb that left. Okay, bringing it down. Gets a square to that left to build out. Oh, no, that L to the left. That probably is going to seal Tommy's game, and it does. And Dangler is good in game number 2. Thanks, Jasmine, for the pin. When the players are ready, there's no huge rush. We're making good time today. Pieces are 5-9 D7 FA, 5-9 Delta 7 Foxtrot Alpha. Oh, sweet. Then he can tell us what a fluffernutter is. You don't know what a fluffernutter is? Dangler knows what a fluffernutter is. Being from Massachusetts, you definitely know what a fluffernutter is. All right, everybody's ready. Let's go ahead and get him started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Hey everybody, it's your old pal, Van Dweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day. So we have Dangler up 2-0 over Tommy. If Tommy wants to get into the semifinals, he's going to have to repeat what he did in round 1 against Rations. And that means winning 3 in a row, starting off 2 games down, a reverse sweep. And it all starts with 1 game, so you can only go 1 game at a time. Win this one, play the next one, win that one, and so on. That's tough against Dangler here, who's fresh off of his victory in the Northeast CTWC Regional. No longer called qualifiers, because as it turns out, they never were qualifiers. You would win airfare and entry into the tournament, but it did not guarantee that you would actually qualify into the tournament. And I know for years that was like a sticking point. And as it turns out, all they needed was a different name. So call them regionals. Who'd have thought? Easy to solve. Just pick a new name. 183 from Tommy, 184 from Dangler. Dangler with the roller head shake. He tries to get a bar that is well timed. Trying to avoid covering that gap, which he does. Gets a Tetris. Now goes to work on that gap. 212, 231 for Tommy. No, they did not guarantee you any particular place. They would just, you would get the, basically, what was it, 1,000? I forget how much it was, but you would get that amount to apply to your lodging and airfare, whatever it was, 500, I forget. And I think they wouldn't charge you to enter the tournament or get a rental station, but it didn't actually qualify you into the tournament. See, that's why I still have some value. I still know some of the lore, right? So despite being substandard as an organizer and commentator, I still know some stuff. And that's why they keep me around. 350 for Tommy, 327 Dangler. Yeah, same score, same lines. 373, 160 through 74 lines. Pretty good pace. Dangler will Tetris. Tommy will take Burns. We still have yet to have a perfect tie in a CTM match. I don't know that it's never happened in any Tetris match ever. I can imagine like Club Zero mutual top outs or whatever. Andrew Meep says it happened once. It's happened a few times. Like in a top tier tournament or kind of lower stakes or what? It hasn't happened in CTWC and it hasn't happened in CTM Masters, but it might have happened. The only other, real high level, well, I don't want to, but the other event I consider to be like on the same level would be, I guess, be CTL kind of finals. Not finals, but the end, whatever the playoffs are in CTL. 538 Tommy, 532 Dangler. I mean, it's destined to happen. If Classic Tetris continues, I mean, it's going to happen. As long as it continues. 556 Dangler. He's going to take a triple here to bring this down. 564 Tommy. Dangler with the 5 below in the middle of the stack, up pretty high, so it's great recognition of what is happening. So Dangler looking for the L piece to spin in there. He'll find it. 632 for Dangler, 633 for Tommy. And we're just one line away. Both players with huge, huge paces. Tommy is first in at 657. And Dangler is first in at 679. Two huge paces in game 3. And Tommy's got to be like, man, I get in there with like a 650 something and I'm down 2 games to 1. What do I got to do? Well, you're not even ahead. I mean, it's crazy. So if you want a good seed, play 5-9 D7 FA. 5-9 D7 FA. 738 Tommy, 779 for Dangler. I think that's a good way to practice, is just watch these matches or have them on and play the same seeds. I mean, if you have the tournament cartridge, the training cartridge, then play along with the commentary, play along with the players, and just see how you do. Especially to those of you out there who are like, oh, well, you probably don't have the tournament cartridge, but you know, those of you who are like, oh, my mom used to get 1,000,000 points on Tetris. She gets it all the time on her Android phone. These guys aren't that special. All right, play along. Try to beat them. Just spend $200 on old electronics. 888 Tommy, 903 Dangler. I mean, to be fair, these old electronics, cheaper than buying a phone, right? And some days I'd rather not have the phone. All right, Tommy, 1 away from the max out. Now Dangler is. Tommy set up, gets the Tetris, has the max, level 25. And same with Dangler. So both players max out on level 25. It's pretty early max out. All right, Dangler Tetris has a gap in the stack, though. That'll cost a couple of burns. And he's already behind Tommy. And, you know, while we talk about Dangler pacing, Tommy can pace pretty well, too. And Tommy with the 1.1 on 26. Tommy going to have to create a gap here. That'll cost a couple of lines. Trying to avoid putting anything over it. All right, that's going to cost about 4 lines or so. Nice T for the middle to fill that out. B47 for Tommy. Dangler now in the lead. Just that small slowdown from Tommy was enough to give Dangler an opportunity to take the lead. C01 Dangler, C17 for Tommy. And of course, Dangler, well, a small lead anyway. When they're about the same line count, Dangler had the lead at that moment. So Tommy is into 29 at C29, C76 for Dangler. So 1.2 million. C is 1.2 million. D is 1.3 million. And so on until it rolls over after F. Dangler's board getting a little bit high here. And Tommy with a great looking board. Dangler is going to have to do something here. The board getting more complicated. That is going to be a top out for Dangler. And as we've seen multiple times in this tournament so far, Tommy in a chase down situation, a small one, he gets the Tetris to complete the little mini chase down. He might not have even known he needed it when he got it. But Tommy setting up the same story arc as his game 1, was down 2 games to 1. And has now won game number 3. This is like the Tommy trap, right? Don't go up 2 games to none on Tommy, because he's got you right where he wants you. Dangler, try to avoid falling into the Tommy trap. GG's. All right, new pieces when you are ready, players. 6F9C D0. 6F9C D0. You know what? Normally what I do, a little insider knowledge here. Usually what I do when one player is up 2-0, I set up the winner scene for the player who's ahead. That way I don't have to, probabilistically, it's very unlikely that I'll have to change it over to the other player who's behind. I don't want to touch it. Seems like every time I change my scene a little bit, OBS is crashing, so I'm not going to touch it. 6F9 CD0, 6F9 CD0. Both players are ready. It is game number 4. Both players ready. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So yeah, I was about to go like, all right, let me set up the scene just in, it seems the most likely event here is the player that's ahead is going to win. I don't want to touch it. OBS is being a bit finicky this last month or so. So I don't know. I think I have to recreate my scenes from scratch, or there's something maybe, I don't know, kind of dirty about my scenes, or so. I don't know. Something's happening. Well, just like in round number 1, Tommy was back 2-0. And now Tommy has won game number 3. Dangler wants to wrap it up right now. Tommy, a dangerous opponent, a former CTM Masters winner. Now, it was back in April 2021, but Tommy's still relevant at the highest levels. And has a lot of tournament experience. Dangler, though, fresh off of victory at the Northeast CTWC Regionals, so has some momentum. $143 Dangler, $122 Tommy. These adjustments for Dangler. And Tommy also one to make adjustments. Both players capable of putting up huge, huge paces, making great adjustments. And those tuck setups for Dangler, certainly informed by his experience going for his perfect max out, where the stacking has to be no burns. And flat stacking is not gonna necessarily take you there. You've got to set up a lot of delayed kind of setups there, tucks and things like that, and these are in full force for Dangler right now. So if you want a Tetris education, keep your eyes on Dangler's side. Now that can come back to bite you though, because even, this kind of stacking is kind of like done for, kind of heavy reset PB runs, right? Where if you top out, you can just move on to the next one. But Dangler's figured it out. He's found a way to play like this, but also be safe. That makes him very, very dangerous. 352 Tommy, 352 Dangler, 329 Tommy. All right, Dangler being forced into a little skim there. A couple Tetrises, though. He'll feel good about it. 400 through 80. Exactly where you want to be. And look at that adjustment of that S piece. Knowing the bar was coming in and had kind of a cozy place for that bar, was able to put that S over there in column 7 and 8. Now, imagine as a DAS player doing that. No way. You might see it. You might see that. But the ability to react like that and put those pieces there with such precision, it's not something you're typically going to do with as a DAS player, like most of us are, or a lot of us are, sitting at home. 471 Dangler, 410. Kind of looks like those AIs, right? Like the Stack Rabbit and... Or what's that? What's the one? Is it Triple Machine? Is that the one that makes all the crazy... Where it saves all its adjustments for the last moment? Is that Triple Machine? There are Tetris AIs out there that every once in a while get thrown into a competition against one another. Stack Rabbit, Triple Machine. And the Triple Machine is the weird one. That's the one that saves all its non-default placements. Like it goes all the way back down to the bottom of basically where it does, and it does its adjustment like at the last possible moment. And so it just flings pieces left and right into an unexpected place at the last moment. That's what Dangler is kind of looking like right now. And yes, Nerd the Box pointing out on the subject of AI, Noah did study these AI placements, particularly Stack Rabbit, to learn stacking. Like literally computers, AI placements informing modern classic Tetris play. 633 for Dangler, 555 for Tommy as we approach 19, where the speed will increase by 50%. The pieces will be falling instead of one row every 3 frames, it'll be one row every 2 frames, thus a 50% increase. Dangler's got to be a little careful here, though. Oh, okay, gets that piece to the left to build this out. Tetris Tommy 584 and another one 608 as he heads into level 20. 649 for Dangler, so a little under 2 Tetris lead for Dangler right now. Actually, now, well, same line count, so actually less than a Tetris. Dangler's been burning a little bit, and Tommy was able to Tetris during that. All right, triple here for Dangler. Has to take the stack down a bit. Long bar to the left, trying to keep that open. Getting a little droughted. Get out your trouts, it's a drought. Finally, a long bar. He can't use it. 676. This is going to allow Tommy to crawl back, even it up. Javanti, especially, I think Javanti in the community is especially drought observant. It's always Javanti saying, oh, that drought, here's a drought. Oh, Tommy with that T-piece to cover the well. That's going to complicate things. Should be able to get out of it, but you know, you have an expectation of what your board is going to look like and just kind of where it's going. And then when you do a misdrop like that, all of a sudden you got to totally recalibrate. At least I do anyway. But Tommy able to handle it, no problem. 774 Dangler able to stay pretty efficient though while Tommy works through that. And now Dangler with a real lead. 859 for him, 781 for Tommy. So you can always count on Javanti in the community to let us know that there's a drought happening, which I appreciate because I'm not always aware of him. You know, just bebopping along. Tetris Dangler 900. There's another one, 932. Tetris Tommy 850. We're into level 26. And Tommy back by about 6 lines and about 80,000 points. So it's actually, you know, Tommy maybe back by about a Tetris or so pace-wise. Mr. Brain is here. Stickman Productions. JS is here. All right, Dangler, a little bit of a complicated situation here, but still low enough. And there we go. Able to open up that well. Here on 28, 29 looms. The speed is going to double. There's a Tetris. Max out for Dangler. And heading into 29, Dangler at A24 gets a Tetris. A60. Tommy looking for one last one before he heads into 29. And another Tetris Dangler BO2. There's a skim and a Tetris for Tommy. A33 into 29. So I think Tommy had the higher 29 transition. There's a nice skim there for Dangler. He's going to take a safe triple there just to bring the stack back down, try to build it out from scratch. Tommy set up for a Tetris. A79. Tetris gets over. Barely that long bar gets over. Another. Okay, what is. Oh my God. All right, so Tommy set up for another one. And there is another one over. B63. He's back by 50,000 points and back by 10 lines. Dangler's board getting a little complicated, but gets a bar to the right side for a Tetris to bring the board down. And Dangler is trying to fight this board down because Tommy is still within range and he's clean and clear and Tetrising. And Dangler going to top out at C64. And Tommy in another chase down situation. And he can't get the bar to the left. Can he get one over? No, and he can't complete the chase down. He was there. He was there, but he hung 3 pieces to that left side. And that was enough for Dangler to take game number 3. So GG to Dangler. Wow. Oh my word. Our number 1 seed will be moving on. So Dangler, you are good. And wow, a bracket winner. Tommy did amazing. I mean, always a thrill show when Tommy is here, and a fan favorite, of course. And another becoming kind of a crowd favorite, Dangler. Dangler, congrats to you. You have won the orange bracket in a 3-to-1. A 3-to-1 has no business being that exciting. So GG's to you, Tommy. Hope to see you again. Right now, Dangler capping off a pretty good weekend, winning the Northeast Regional and now winning a ticket into the semifinals of the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event for August 2024. Let me go ahead and report these matches so you can take a look. At what is happening. It was 3-2, Tommy over Rations. We'll keep Dangler on there awkwardly, just smiling and sitting, watching himself. And okay, 3-1 Dangler. All right, Dangler, congratulations. We'll go ahead and take a look at our semifinal bracket so you can see where we are. Let me refresh that. Reload the page. Sometime it will work. Any moment now. Oh, wait. Whoops. There we go. Now it'll work. That's what we got. This is a pretty hype matchup going on the top half of the semis. Dangler versus Sidnev. We are guaranteed to have a brand, or at least a non-winning player, a non-CTM Masters event winning player. I don't mean a non-winning player, but a non-CTM Master or a potentially new CTM Masters event winner. That's how I would probably say that. Up at the top half and the bottom half, Tetris Alex T will be taking on the winner of our red bracket. Now, the red bracket is going to happen on Tuesday. Today is Sunday, right now where I am, right? On Tuesday, where I am, basically 48 hours from now, is when we are going to do the red bracket. That's going to be Miles versus Neko, Blue Scooty versus Cobalt. Only one player from that red bracket is a former winner, and that is Blue Scooty. So we've got potential for maybe 3 players seeking their first CTM Masters event win in this semifinals. Now, of course, Tetris Alex T looms large in this scenario and certainly has to be the overall favorite. But, man, we've got some potentially great new winners. I don't know. So I'm pretty excited. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. I appreciate your patience through my early technical issues. And, you know, also want to thank those who contributed to the prize pool. And I just want to put one more plug in while you're still here, because it's really important that we get to this $2,000 incentive. Right now we're at 1411.71. We'd love to get to that 2,000. So whatever you're able to chip in, please do that. ctm.gg/Matcherino is the way to do it. If you can chip in 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm not going to keep counting in fives there, but you get the idea. No amount is too small, so please do. If you're able to contribute anything, get it over there. $2,000, really important milestone that will allow us to pay the top 8 instead of the top 4. So thank you so much to Scott Gray, Jens Axpo, Kano watching Tetris, Uncle Ungie, Freezy, Burn, JD Turkleton, R. Barrow, Quinn Culver, Game Scout, Rogue Potato, Tom J, Sup Daft, Winter, Whoops, another Rabbit Hole, Ryan Bull, GS Cookie for the contributions to the prize pool, and everybody who's done sponsor quests and the coupon codes. That's going to do it for me. Thank you very much for hanging out. Always a fun time to do this. Not only the players making it exciting, but you, the fans, making it every single month. Something I really look forward to doing. So thanks to y'all for making it happen. And I'm going to go ahead and raid somebody over on YouTube. On Twitch. I don't know who that is. Somebody saying no chat. There's nobody with cam going here, and this guy is like no chat. So I'm gonna raid somebody who's kind of in the classic Tetris community, but also a top level Mike Tyson's Punch Out streamer, also kind of in the Tetris community, and is like has either the second or third best Tyson runner right now going, and is doing a lot of attempts. So if you want to see Tyson played at a high level, who knows, maybe summoning Salt to be in the chat. He often shows up. So let us go ahead and we will see. Thanks everybody. Have a good night. Take care and